Hi everyone. Tonight I have a guest, Damir, and we'll discuss Meta or Facebook. And Damir, in two sentences, what was your idea and how does it help the world?
Hi. So this business with Facebook is really revolutionary, and considering that we named our brand after OnlyFans, you can assume that it is also very hot and sexy. But from the business perspective, of course. Regarding how can it change the world, can I have maybe 7 sentences to explain? Because it's not so easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So our Facebook analytics solved the main problem of most serious advertisers on Facebook. Each of them has experienced in the past few years that their results suddenly and for no real reason dropped rapidly, and they did not know why. So, in addition, they received account blocks, restriction on ads, while Facebook did not give them any feedback, and they didn't even know what they were doing wrong.
Mhm.
So, this is where we enter this story. In cooperation with Facebook, we have access to the backend of all Facebook accounts, where we can check what exactly is wrong with each of assets, be it the main business managers, ad accounts, or I don't know, users associated with that accounts. We check entire account of our client, record problems, and clean their accounts, thereby ensuring increased ad performance, better sales, and maybe eliminating the fear of being blocked right during the peak season. So on top of that, we show you what works best for your competition abroad, and specifically reduce the costs of testing ads, advertising methods, finding top sellers, and so on. So uh, we can show you what your competition is selling right now in the USA, UK, or Germany. What is their exact spend, CPM, CPA, and which ads are working the best. So yes, you heard that right. Insight into any business manager in the world is available, and you can get a video directly from your competitor business manager.
So I can spy on everyone and adjust my actions according.
Yeah, correct.
That's crazy. Okay. uh, okay, but uh, how did you even come to this idea to get into this business? Because I know you were in some other fields before this.
Yeah.
How does it came to your mind, and what was the spark that initiated all this?
Yeah, so I can tell you a story how it all started. A colleague of mine from France became one of the leading people in Facebook support a couple of years ago. So, due to these constant problems with the algorithm, which was constantly blocking and flagging campaigns and advertising accounts, they were losing a lot of money. So, Facebook,
Yeah.
especially when this started happening to even the biggest advertisers, then they start to lose really big amounts of money. But Facebook has a problem because in that mass of advertisers around the world, that mass is so huge that it is no longer feasible to have some effective support that could check individual cases. So everything is left to the algorithm, and the algorithm is not so good.
Mhm.
Um, Everyone who has advertised on Facebook has had problems with those sudden drops in results, blocks, restrictions, and so on. Um, and that's why Facebook has developed some kind of internal agency which employs their support staff, programmers, and other departments who offer their services to the largest advertisers through this agency. So this friend of mine from France is one of the leading people in the agency, and he contacted us maybe 2 years ago, and we signed the contract with them for our representation in this region.
Great. So having the friend on the right position is the key.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it is often so. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, so what surprised you the most in your entrepreneurial journey, in a good or a bad way?
Mm, good or bad? Okay, let's do both. But first, bad. I was most negatively surprised during the Corona period, what we were talking before, when I was hit by some kind of a reality check, because it became even clearer how dependent are we in e-commerce business on some external factors over which we have no influence at all. It wasn't just about Corona, which was a specific event in the history that affected most companies, but also about Facebook problems because its algorithm was often messed up at the time and still is. And maybe as an interesting fact, I should say that at that time, in the same week, we made the largest daily profit and the largest loss in our company's history because we were advertising on Facebook too. There were just few days in between. It was really a hectic situation, and under such conditions, it is extremely difficult to plan anything, and this, of course, represent quite a lot of stress for the management. So this was somehow my negative reality check, or maybe, as you said, this really surprised me because I didn't see it coming.
Nobody
Okay.
did that time.
Yeah, I know. I also remember one positive surprise from those times, namely when they practically forced us to introduce remote work from home. We also offer it to all employees who worked in the field where this was possible, so support, marketing, and so on. But I was really positively surprised by the response of my team, where a large part of our employees asked me if they could stay at the company because they feel good and they like to be in the company of other employees. So somehow it has been shown that if you really care about the good relations in the company and take into account their personal characteristics when selecting employees, in the long run, this will definitely be reflected in some shared motivation in the company. And I was really happy to go to company every day by myself because of that.
Excellent. So, what was the best advice you ever received? Business advice, I would say, not marriage.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm quite lucky to have met so many successful and interesting people during my career. So it would be hard to single out just one piece of advice. Maybe just a few short ones that I think are relevant and that come to my mind. So the first one is from one of the most successful CEOs in the field of e-commerce in Slovenia. He told me at the beginning of my e-commerce career, don't overcomplicate things. Do what you think quickly, test it, and then work on improvements later. This advice is very important, and I still agree with it because I notice with others that they often wait for some kind of ideal moment to enter the business, or they want to set up the perfect website before they start selling, or they want to have the ideal product from the very beginning. But you know what? This ideal moment or product often never comes. And that's why many projects remain just ideas who are later forgotten. And this is a shame.
Yes.
So yeah, this is probably the most important advice that I get in the beginning of my career, and I tried to use it a couple of times when I caught myself overcomplicating things and waiting too long. Okay, so maybe another good piece of advice, which I also absolutely agree with, is that as a leader in e-commerce, you need to know the right balance between making decisions based on numbers and based on your gut feeling. I agree that numbers don't always tell the whole story, and that sometimes you have to rely on your gut feeling, but this is often what separates super successful people or companies from just successful ones. But, however, many leaders make the mistake of relying too much on their gut feeling and not enough on numbers, especially in e-commerce business, because we have numbers and we must use them. We cannot just rely on our gut feeling. So one good example in Slovenian e-commerce is the decision about having a cash on delivery option in online store. So have it or not. It is it is the most popular payment option in Slovenia. It seems incredible to me how many people give their feelings priority over statistics when making such an important decision. So I hear statements like, oh, I canceled cash on delivery and now I have no more undelivered packages. Yeah, okay, great. But you don't say that you had just 1% of undelivered packages before and 60% cash on delivery payments. That's why I was so nervous about it. I even make one calculation on our only sales page that I sent to these people, because I don't want them to make this fatal mistake just because of their ego or misinterpretation of the numbers. Because if you make a change that penalizes 60% of your good customers just to hurt 1% of your bad customers, you have done something wrong.
Yeah.
And if the statistics show you that, as a leader, you simply have to understand and accept it. In such decisions, the only real business decision is to do an A/B test on your customers, which means you check all the parameters, not just one, in version A, so website with cash on delivery option, versus the version B, which does not have this option. And you will get the feedback from your market, from your customers, and you will see the results. You cannot rely on your gut feeling. So yeah, this is maybe the second one, but okay. For the last piece of good advice, I will choose one that's maybe a bit less business oriented and technical. This one is more psychological and stuck in my mind when I got it, but especially because later it turned out to be true. A couple of years ago, I went through a pretty bad form of burnout. We had problems with Facebook. I had to fire people. I was working at least, 12, 14 hours a day. And at the end of the day, I felt like it was for nothing. Results were bad. I had a small child at home who didn't sleep at night, and there were simply just too many negative things that ended up having to seek help and step away for a while. So at that time, by chance, I came into contact with an old friend who is also an e-commerce veteran. And unlike everyone else, who mostly just comforted me or gave me some encouraging words like, it will get better, don't worry, and so on, he reacted completely differently. He said something like, wow, Damir, that's so great. I was like, what? Now you have reached the moment when you will rest your brain and clear your mind, and then new ideas will start flying again like they used to. This is really a blessing. And I was really shocked. But in that moment, my mood somehow changed, and I tried to accept his thoughts. Maybe I really had fallen too far into some kind of routine that after so many years is boring and it is burdening me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what if my brain actually resisted this, forced me to make some radical change so that later I would be able to work the way I love to do again?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's exactly what happened 1 year later. So, at this moment, I feel much, much better than I did a few years ago. And the point of this advice is mainly to try not to take those moments when nothing in your business is going as should be, too personally or too emotionally. This does not mean you are bad or you are stupid. It is probably just some kind of a sign that you can start thinking if you see yourself in this business in a few years. And if you find out that you actually do not, you can start working on changes in time, because in that moment you have enough time to make a change. So, okay, maybe these are three advices that I still totally agree with.
Excellent. So for the second one, I'm always impressed how easy it is to make these A/B tests, but how a lot of even bigger companies don't use this method to see what works and what doesn't work, and how relentless. I had some customers that were so relentless in pursuing this that they were doing this on basically weekly basis and had extreme results with that. And regarding the second one, I think one of the things that I saw in my businesses is that if I'm working too much in the business and not enough on the business, this is the thing that happens, because you're somehow in this hamster wheel. You're just putting the
Yeah,
fires out and you're not enjoying the things anymore.
yeah,
And
correct.
that's the excellent uh, uh, example of how to change that. So would you have some advice from your perspective for somebody who is trying to start a business now, who's trying to get from the idea to the realization?
Well, it's hard to answer such a general question because it
Yeah.
depends a lot of the individual wishes, their knowledge, age, maybe also financial capabilities. But okay, let's put it this way. Uh, if we are talking very generally, what would I do if I had my experience today, but I'm 20 years old? So,
Yeah.
first, I would set my personal priorities. How much time a day I'm willing to invest in developing my business? I think this is very important, but here you have to be really honest about it, and you have to take into account everything what you like to do. So you also like to go to party, you go to college, you travel, you have hobbies, and so on. You cannot just say, I will give everything for developing my business. That's not true.
Mhm.
You cannot give everything, and you will become depressed if you do so. So be realistic about it. The second thing is how much money I'm able to invest. That's also important. I would start from that. Then, for starters, I would find a business in the US that matches the above. So my time and my financial capabilities. I cannot start a new TikTok if I'm willing to invest 1,000 euro. That's not realistic. So that's what I'm talking about. So you have to consider how can you transfer that basic idea, which you already know it is working in the US market, to the Europe. Of course, assuming that this existing business does not target the Europe and that there is no such service in the Europe yet. Because my logic here is quite simple. If a service or a product works in the US market, where advertising prices are several times higher, there is a high probability that it will be successful here as well. Then you can, of course, contact me and order insight into the business manager of that US company so you can gain complete insight into the results and their advertising methods. Because with that, you can completely skip the painful and expensive initial phase with testing of advertising, like how to do it, which ads would perform, how much to invest, and so on. We literally can show you what works right now. You just have to find one business in the US which matches, let's say, your personal abilities, such as your time, knowledge, and your investment. That's it.
Great. So we now touched your offer and your business again. So how should someone contact you? How is the easiest way to get to you and get your offer?
I'm not exactly an incognito guy, so you can find pretty easily online. I mean, you can also find my contacts, but of course, you can always visit our webpage, onlysales.si, or just add me on LinkedIn and we can discuss something live. That's not a problem. I'm quite open to any request.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So what can they expect if they want to do business with you? If they want your help and to cooperate with you, what can they expect?
Okay, so like, what are we exactly doing? Or
yeah.
Okay, so we have, let's say, two packages. Those are not packages, but yeah, let's say two packages. And let's say the first one is basic package. It is for checking your entire Facebook account, removing all restrictions, removing all blocks, clean your accounts, and consequently assigning statuses, which means that you will get a better quality audience on Facebook, which increases the effectiveness of your ads, increases your sales, and improves campaign performance by an average by 20 to 30%. So many of my customers comment right here, oh, we have no problems with blocks. But what they don't know is that we are often talking about so-called flags here, which are not visible to users, as those are just some kind of marks in the backend of Facebook, with which the algorithm indicates the health of individual account. So everyone who joins this program, of course, gets an insight into this backend. So let's say with this basic package, you will know that your advertising account is 100% clean, and you can expect a raise of your sales or maybe profit for 20 to 30%. And the second thing, like the premium, yeah, of course.
Clarification: this is one-time procedure. It's not, or is it monthly or?
It is monthly, but okay. You can do it just for 1 month. You can do it for 3 months. You can do it for 1 year. So it depends on you.
What do you suggest? You probably suggest to keep it in infinite, to have the clean account.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If this is some really big account, or maybe even a couple of accounts which are connected to the same company, yeah, I mean, of course, if we are talking, we can talk about accounts which are spending a couple of millions of euros monthly, then of course you will pay this amount to have 100% clean accounts every month. On the other hand, if those are some smaller accounts, but you have some major issues, you can take it just for 1 month to clean everything. You will know what you're doing wrong, and if you not repeat that, I think you can stay clear. So it really depends on the account.
Okay.
Okay, so regarding the second thing, that's, let's say, a premium service, which is truly unique in the world. That's the ability to see the advertising of your competitors. So we are talking about being able to see what your competition is advertising, how much money they're investing, what the results are on individual ads, on individual campaigns. It literally looks like you're walking around in someone else's business manager, except that we have control, not you. You can only see the results. With this, they want to redirect advertisers' investments from test campaigns, they as Facebook. So they don't want you to spend money on searching for top sellers, on testing different ads. They want you to spend that money on the real campaigns because they know that this consequently means better results for you, but it also means greater scale and ultimately greater earnings for them. So it is in their interest. They are not Robin Hoods. Many people wonder here, is this even legal? Everything is in accordance with Facebook TOS and works in a similar way to various public services, such as, I don't know, Winning Hunter is one of them, except that these services only use one part of what Facebook offers, while Facebook itself has access to everything and can consequently show much better relevant data live. You can also, because you will sign a contract for that service provided, you will receive an invoice. And as I said, with only sales are just the connection between you and the Facebook agency. Since we have exclusive representation for this region, in practice, this means that you tell us which competition you want to check, what exactly you want to see, and we will deliver you videos directly from their business manager.
Great, but it sounds expensive. To be honest, can we discuss prices right now?
Yeah, we can.
Great.
So the offer is adapted to each client and their wishes, because, of course, there are also certain, discounts on subscriptions and so on. But basically, the prices are 3,000 euros per month for the basic package. This is for cleaning and caring of your account, and an additional 1,000 to 2,000 euros per competitor's ad account. So if you just want to achieve, let's say, a 20 to 30% better performance on your own account, it will cost you 3,000 euro. But if you also want to check your competitors, the monthly total price is around 5,000 euro upscale, depending on the number of competitors you want to check. But think about it. How much can access to every ad account in the world, even the one of that your one competitor in the US, which is recording crazy results, can really be worth? Because my opinion is this is priceless if you know how to use this information. And I'm even shocked that more people is not using that.
Exactly. So I think what, especially smaller companies or companies that don't know how to advertise really good, or with marketing teams that grow from the smaller companies and they don't have this broad vision, or how should I say, I think they think of things like this as a cost instead of the investment. Because they think, okay, that's so costly, that's so the price is so high, but they don't think of what they can achieve from this. And I think I was actually expected higher numbers.
I know mostly people are telling me that, but the calculation here is quite clear. I mean, if you know that this is costing you 3,000 euro per month, let's say you're not spying your competitors, you just want to have a really good account and really quality traffic, and you just have to do the basic math. Like, I will pay 3,000 euro per month, and they are telling me that my performance would get, let's say, at least 20% better. So now you have everything. You know how much profit are you doing in this moment. If 20% raise of your profit will cover those 3,000 euro and make you additional profit, that this is for you. If on the other hand, if you have, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 euro profit now, this is probably not for you, because you will pay more than you will get. Mostly our clients are clients which are spending from couple of 10,000 euros to, let's say, 1 million euros per month. And of course, their expectations are also quite different, because some of them just want to have really healthy account. Some of them like to search for top sellers on this way, or to see which ads are performing. And some of them even have their own data bricks, which is just using those numbers to implement it in their own businesses. So it really depends. What do you need from us?
Yeah, excellent. Now, I think our time is up. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, you must know one thing. I'm still a bit jet lagged, so my brain is thinking now it's past midnight. So I'm still quite confused about it. So I think I told everything that was really interesting.
Yes,
I'm glad that we're here, Robert. So I hope this was useful.
Yes, I really enjoyed it, and I have a lot of great information, and I hope somebody will find it useful too.
Perfect.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you too.
Bye.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.